Back. Sorry, I did not mean for it to take that long. Okay, row H, the third river. It started when she found something that she was not meant to find, a book tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Anvil Still side library. Row H, the third river. Let's go ahead and see about doing that. Okay, so we got row H. 1, 2. I don't know why I did the magnifying glass there. Dead deer in the river, yellowed bone protruding from matted hide and rotten flesh. Death for one provides life for so many. I don't know if this sounds loud enough for you guys to hear, but I think it's kind of neat when you click the cat, it purrs. It's a happy little kitty. Bring me a sample of Apis demysis and be quick about it. That damn cat is setting off my allergies. Shouldn't have an animal in a shop like this. Let's see. Okay. So we're looking for a Gandhi root. A plant with medicinal properties that can aid with the digestive troubles when prepared correctly. Care must be taken, however, as the rough leaves can be an irritant. Only the petals are safe for consumption. Okay. So maybe. Okay, a single pink flower that smells pleasant. put little notes so I don't have to look at the descriptions every time. Let's see. This one. The dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Maybe I won't bother with labels. A single sweet smelling dark flower. Rough leaves. Maybe. Let's try it. Okay. Lake Undermere is looking fine in the sunshine today. Here's your mail. There's an old slate mine at Hard Knock that has some interesting looking fungi growing in it. I've never seen anything like them before. They seem to have found a niche in the dark, damp tunnels left by the tramways. I thought you might be interested. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Okay, but I'm kind of curious. Oh, but there's not really. Let's just try this one. I was curious if what he said maybe was a hint. But there's kind of a lot to the lake, so yeah. Okay, let's see what this letter leads us to. Gold slate mine and hard knock. So I'm looking for hard knock. There we go. An iron gate, rusted by years of abandonment, sits across the entrance to the tram tunnel. Rusted, it may be, but it won't budge. Locked. And saying something about using... Oops. Okay. Cavalium? According to the legend, Cavalium can be used to open any lock, no matter how complex or secure. The heart-shaped leaves have earned this plant the nickname Lovelock. Maybe this one? Let's try it. Oh, look, I got 3 plants. I'm heading to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. Fox button. An offering of fox button is considered by some to represent a contract of friendship between strangers. Thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs along the stems. So thick. So I'm thinking it's going to either be this one or this one or this one. Are there any others that look like? Oh, or this one. The only one that mentioned anything about the leaves in the description was this one. Let's hope for the best. Oh. Oops. Maybe this one. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's poppy. There's a medium using the room, legally I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. Harlequin blue. When the bushy blue flower heads die back, they release seeds with a downy pappus which assist in wind dispersal. Once dried and hardened, the stems can be burned as incense. As they burn, they let out high-pitched shrieks, widely believed to be the spirits of dead souls trapped within the plant. This is blue flower heads. Oh, we're looking at one of these. I don't think it's that one. Bushy flower heads, so maybe this one. Try that one. You may have heard the rumors that our art is dead. May our Dunya bring her spirit peace. The nature of her death is unusual. This sisterhood does not often look to outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry to the forest. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Mary's breath. The wide, waxy leaves allow this plant to collect the large amount of water it requires. It is said that a person can be bound to secrecy using Mary's breath. It used to be grown in the royal gardens so that the king could ensure the trust of his confidence, but the practice fell out of favor. So we want wide, waxy leaves. Maybe. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen, and the Arda has been murdered. You will find us deep in the Grisdale forest, a mile from the lake shore across from Trover. Please help us. Yours in hope, the Sisterhood of Ardunia. Let's label this one first. Okay, so you have Torver there, and they want Grisdale Forest, which is here. So we want, and then here's this, so we want 1 square is a mile. I would say here. I did wrong. As soon as I step off the road, 2 members of the sisterhood step out and remind me that this is their forest. I am not welcome here. I try showing them the sister's letter, but they tell me I'm in the wrong place and move me along without offering any help. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute again. I muted because of a sound. Yeah. Oops. So sorry about that not reading for a while. Yeah. Okay. I'm this close to reporting you, halfwit. That last plant you gave me made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn to the ground if you don't make this right. So it's given me a choice of 2 plants here. So I have a choice of giving him a Butterdale. Butterdale, often found growing in clumps on the valley sides. Butterdale has been used for centuries as a cure for all manner of skin rashes. The dark green leaves can be stewed and mulched to form a poultice. The flowers smell buttery to some people. Or Meekdew. Meekdew, the beautiful flowers made up of smaller florets, make this sought-after decorative plant, although it's difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. So I have a choice of making his rash worse or of curing it. We'll cure it just because I am running a shop here, so yeah. So we're looking for one that smells buttery. Dark green leaves. This one. I am kind of curious what would have happened if I would have given him the other one, but okay. So I'm gonna take another quick be right back. This one will be shorter than the other, but my headset's trying to die, so I have to switch headsets. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you can hear me okay with my other headset. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book where it could never be found. Okay, so let's see. Okay, So we want to go Hawkshead. Hawkshead. Okay, here's Lowick, so it's east, so it's going to be somewhere this way. Hawkshead, so it's north, so it's going to be somewhere up in here. Okay, west of Rustlin. It's Rustlin. Okay, here's Crinkle Crags. Okay, so it's going to be in this row. Oh, here's Rustlin. Okay. So right here, E17. My eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of the field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair, vacant eyes fixate on nothing. A whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face, but only a whisper. He raises his arms, points. I follow his outstretched finger, and I am surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers growing there, hidden from view. I'm looking for a plant. Lady of... what's it? Something or other. Ugh, I'm no green-eyed rare, that's for sure. My mind isn't all what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. Lady of Summer. The leaves curl round delightfully, which is combined with an attractive flower and a hardy nature. This makes it a sought-after ornamental plant. Aids with conditions of memory deterioration associated with old age. Curl around delightfully. Maybe this one then. Let's try this. They're saying the art has been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seems to me that the art always looked out for the less fortunate. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore the Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeves that can keep you warm, should the weather turn against you. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Let's see, where did he say to go? Great Gable. I'm not seeing it. Great Gable. Oh, there it is. It's up here. After several hours of arduous hiking and scrambling, I'm still somewhat distant from the summit. I am freezing cold and ready to head home. I should do the sensible thing and turn back down the mountain. Unless... Brimlock. Those suffering from hyperthermia can be rescued by a draught made from using the leaves from brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that protects against extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, brimlock produces a small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. Okay. This plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please, take it. I want nothing more to do with it. I mean, I don't know why he'd have a fungus as a plant anyways. Hellbore! It's always a pleasure, my feline friend. I hope he hasn't been nibbling the plants again. I have a favor to ask. You owe me for the hours I spent digging out the information on those plants. I've been burning the midnight oil again and could use some common trouse. And I know where to find it. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on red pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sedberg in the meantime. Here, take this. Okay, common trouse. Despite being described as common, the trouse can in fact be quite tricky to find. However, it is known to grow in abundance in the slopes of red pike. Nobody knows why. Its leaves have been used for centuries as a balm against eye strain. Okay, so we're looking for red pike. Let's see. We go B9. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up to the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the views majestic. I do not have to look hard to find what I am after. We'll leave it there because I haven't verified, but I'm fairly sure that's going to be that since that's where I found it. Yeah. When you work with a cult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image. If you're going to be accused of performing witchcraft anyways, it doesn't hurt to put on a bit of show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, that sort of thing. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad, and the little bugger called my bluff. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what little boys are like. I can assure you he deserves to be turned into a toad. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behavior in the future. Have you got any shimmerlung? Let's find out what shimmerlung is. Shimmerlung. The dried stem of the shimmerlung burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near blinding white-purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large, rigid leaves. So the only one that has flowers in the leaves is this one. It has a pleasing scent. The leaves have stiff ribs. Let's go ahead and try.
There's a there's a beautiful plant that I've been looking for all over, but nobody seems to have any. M something. Monk brew? I'm not sure. I do know that I shouldn't touch the leaves though. Okay, let's look at our M plants. I have Meek Dew, Mellow Glow. It's probably gonna be the Meek Blue, but let's look. Mellow Glow. Among other uses for this plant, the most remarkable is that it can allow a person to pass unnoticed. Though not invisible, it is possible to become hidden from sight and memory. The Mellow Glow has sharp thorns that protect from predators, so that's possible. But then the Meek Dew is what we looked at earlier. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller florets make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. That sounds right. So... No. Smaller florets. I don't know why I was looking at those. Let's see. This? No. Oh, that's fruits anyways. That's not in the right spot. Do I have this one? Hmm. Andy? Time passed, a year, and then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight did not mean out of mind. The book was what was her thought settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. Okay. The gentle sound of flowing water, the sunlight through scattered clouds. A reset. The fox button was no help, I'm afraid. The sisterhood still refused to speak openly with me. Not that I have the time to pursue it properly. I'm rushed off my feet this week. There's been a body found at the Swine-side stone circle, and apparently it's a grisly one. Don't suppose you've got anything to help keep my lunch down. My stomach's never coped too well with the grisly ones. Fennel. Chewing the tough root of this plant is said to ease gastric distress and reduce anxiety. It has long, soft leaves. Which one was it that... I'm gonna guess this one, probably. Okay. Morning. Verona Green handed me this for you. She seemed in a good mood. I meant to tell you this yesterday, but it slipped my mind. I discovered a plant on a recent trip to the Grisdale Forest, just northeast of Rustland. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. I would have brought it back with me if the sisterhood hadn't given me a moment alone, but they seemed overly protective lately. Kind regards, Verona Green. So, Grisdale Forest, northeast of Rustland. And northeast. From the moment I step off the road, I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. Suddenly, I find my way blocked by 3 women wearing green cloaks and holding short elm bowls. Nobody may wander freely throughout the forest by order of the Arda, says the leader of the trio. I turn to walk back. But then again, I have a few tricks up my sleeves. Among other uses for this plant, the most remarkable is that it can allow a person to pass unnoticed. Though it may not be invisible, it is possible to become hidden from sight and memory. I read that one once before. Sharp thorns. So it's gonna be... This is the only one that had sharp thorns. No, maybe. Oh no, right here. I am afraid. The camphor you gave me is helping me sleep, and I am very grateful for it, but the visions are strong as ever. The woman in the jade mask appears in my dreams every night. She screams at me, but I do not know why, and behind her that presence is always there, dark and dreadful. The dreams I feel like a warning that I don't understand, a mosaic of color that refuses to come into focus. Some part of me wants to stare down that abyss, but I am afraid. So we get a choice of giving her Aurelia. When burned, the incense made from the woody stem can enhance a psychic abilities, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. Light blue flowers, like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool, are the characteristics of this plant, which I'm guessing is going to be this one. Or candlewood. So that one's gonna make her become clear visions. Or produces a red flower that provides a shielding effect, protects against all manner of afflictions of the mind. Kind of feel like she needs to get the visions better. So we're going to give her this one. I'll make that a permanent. We don't come to Undermere often, but I heard about your shop and I said to Francis we simply must pay a visit. It's a wonderful breath of life in an otherwise dreary town. I'm the green-fingered one, and it's not really his cup of tea, but I persuaded him the trip would do him good, and besides, he'll be wanting to take a boat out on the lake. Shame about this awful weather, though. You must come to Zurich. We have a small library with some books on plants that my grandfather acquired many years ago. I'm sure they will be of interest to a horticulturist such as yourself. You are cordially invited to Shisgrith Castle, Lord and Lady Elsbeth. Okay, let's go. So, I'm looking for a castle. That's Erkmont Castle. Square Castle. There we are. I am greeted enthusiastically by Lady Elspeth herself. She's very talkative and has many questions on horticulture that I do my best to answer as she takes me on a tour of the gardens. "Oh, you must take a sample of this back with you," she exclaims, pointing out a plant that I do not recognize. But before I can stop to take a look, she has already whisked me on to the next. "And this one, too," she says. I am quite exhausted by the time we make it to the library, and I don't have the time to make a thorough study as I would like. Nevertheless, I am able to find an interesting entry that I note down. "Don't forget these," Lady Elspeth cries as I make to leave. She thrusts the plants from the gardens into my hands, and I thank her warmly. Mushroom. Red spores. Moves in the dark. That's all I've got. Any ideas? I'm pretty sure this one we did before. Didn't we do one that moves in the dark? Or did we just look at? Yeah, the wandering pool. Did I just not label it? Huh. They're saying Black Home is haunted now. Bradley Miller told me he saw a ghost of a huge deer, antlers and all. But then Bradley Miller also says he can talk to squirrels. Either way, there's something evil in them hills, and I'm not taking any chances. Awful what happened to that poor young man at Swinside. I've come for some stinking mount cap. Sunset mount cap. Oh. The sunset mount cap is a type of fungus with dome caps, sometimes called stinking mount cap as a result of its unpleasant odor. It's thought to deter unwanted souls and spirits from entering the home and is often placed in doorways. It's mildly toxic to humans and should not be eaten. I'm guessing it's this one because this one's the stinky one. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, loving, was struck down with typhoid. The crew drew inward as her father turned to drink. Okay, I think I might pause the game for now and go to a different game. Because I kind of want to play that game that I was playing the other night. So I feel like this is a good place to pause. Might come back to it later this evening, but yeah, we'll see. But yep, so quick be right back, and then yeah, we'll switch to another game.